Athletic summer camps are back at Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, baseball, basketball, cheer, soccer, softball, tennis, and volleyball throughout the months of May, June, and July. Spots are limited, and you know they'll be filling up fast. Visit the homepage of letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College, the best camp here.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents, not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also a maestro of the clarinet, a famous speed solver,
piece of cake,
a noted cheese connoisseur,
Limburger.
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. I'm Adam Gore, the Sports Information Director and Director of Media Relations here at ICC, and I greatly appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to join us here for the ICC Hour. As always, the ICC Hour is being presented to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank.
$5 for my own money?
That's a bad call. Let's give him a Renaissance replay. Sign up for Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking with ATM refunds today.
Now, we're going to continue to look back at some of the interviews that we had during graduation when Middays with Gerard were on campus with us. We do appreciate Gerard and all the fine folks and part of the Super Talk family that came out to make that show possible. So we're going to look back at some of those interviews. We're going to look back at an interview with Dr. Jay Allen, president here at ICC. We're also going to have Representative Donnie Bell come by and talk with Gerard along with Senator Daniel Sparks. And then we're going to wrap up the show with a lot of high energy. If you know her, you know who I'm talking about already. That's Mayor Emily Quinn here in Fulton. Do want to remind you, still plenty of time to sign up for classes this coming semester. You can find out more by going to iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu. Also, don't forget to find out more about our summer camps. You'll be hearing some of those messages throughout the days as well. Visit letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com. Remember, some of these interviews are previously recorded, so we hope you enjoy the show as we're going to step away and take a quick break and come back with more of the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM, and it's being presented to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents, not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also a skilled swordsman, a master chef,
Needs more lavender.
a wonder at word games.
2 tries, every time.
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
How do we know you'll love pretzel crust? Because this person begged us to never tease them again about their precious pretzel crust. Well, guess what? Pretzel crust is back! Or is it? Nah, seriously, it's back. Maybe. No, it's back.
Pizza.
Maybe.
Brought to you by Renaissance Bank, the bank that understands you. Learn more at renaissancebank.com.
We've relocated the Element Wealth Studios to Fulton, Mississippi. in the Davis Event Center on the campus of Itawamba Community College, and we are pleased to welcome Dr. Jay Allen, the president of ICC, to the Element Well Studios. Dr. Allen, big day.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic seeing all the smiles on the faces and all the phones raised, taking pictures of the graduates as they walk across the stage. It's awesome.
It's a great day, no doubt. It's one of my favorites, but it's also a little bittersweet because I see these students coming across stage that has made huge impacts on our campus from a leadership standpoint and a scholarly standpoint. I'm like, God, how are we going to replace them?
Yeah.
And then in the fall, this new group comes in, and I'm like, wow, we're going to be okay. This is amazing. So we are just so blessed with some great students.
You know, we certainly talk quite a bit on this program as part of our job about the many challenges that face our communities, our state, our nation. And a lot of times it's kind of easy, I guess, to get a little depressed about that. Yeah. But I was just sharing with you, I had the pleasure, the honor of being over at my alma mater, Ole Miss, last week at meeting with the School of Accountancy, and then having interviewed two fabulous ICC students. It gives you great hope and optimism about the future, doesn't it?
No doubt. The future is bright, and maybe a thing from COVID that's very positive, but our students this year have responded to our engagement opportunities at record numbers. We've just really blown through the student activities budget, and that's a great problem.
Yeah.
Because they have shown up in record numbers craving those engagement opportunities, which is great for us because that also spurs on retention.
Yeah.
And they're more likely to move to success the more engaged they are.
Yeah.
And so it's just been a wonderful year when you put all of that together, and then you see those students, you think, man, it's going to be neat to see what they do down the road.
And it's part of the overall value of the college experience.
Absolutely. It's so much more than just getting up, going to class, and going back. The more engaged you are, you're building friendships for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
All right, how many are we graduating today?
Just a little over 1,016. 673 walk today.
Yeah.
So we had a GED graduation last night, which was great, wonderful, great crowd for that. We do that right here on the same stage and give them all the pomp and circumstance.
Yep.
3 ceremonies today and packed house here at the first one. But the great thing is we were still done in about an hour and 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so we really pride ourselves in getting our families in and out of here so that they can get back to the family opportunity.
Sure.
And enjoy a great meal.
And it is a huge family occasion.
Absolutely. It's something to celebrate. And many of our graduates, they're going to be, about 30% or better are going to be first generation college graduates.
Okay.
So you think about that, they've accomplished something that no one else in their family has done. And so what an honor, what an opportunity, and you could also say what a responsibility.
Yeah, sure. So how would you characterize the status? Let's talk about Itawamba first. How's that going? And then follow up on the community college system in general in Mississippi.
Itawamba Community College, I've been here almost 6 years now, just about to finish up the tail end of my 6th year. And it's a wonderful institution. I knew that before I got here. I've had my eyes on it for a long time. I've worked at 3 in the state of Mississippi, and then 1 out of state as president. They're out of state, and this is a very, very special place. And when I visit with families, I'm like, your child has an opportunity to be involved and engaged in an environment that is just hard to find anything like this, which is wonderful. And so the college has so many things going the right direction, and I can't take credit for that. I may sit at the helm, but the reality is it's our leaders that are making things happen. And I talked today in my graduation comments about being the spark, being a spark plug, and you being the spark that's generating movement happening, whether it's where you work, where you learn, or where you lead. Be that spark, and also create sparks that will create opportunities for other people. Well, that's what our faculty and staff are doing, and they are answering the call for engagement and for opportunities in and out of the classroom. It's just been amazing. So then we turn our attention to the community college as a whole. I think we're in a really unique place within the history of community colleges in Mississippi. We're in our 75th year here as a community college. When you look at that system and what we're able to do across our state, the beauty of it is we're all autonomous, independent institutions that come together for a common purpose.
Yeah.
But I can serve my community the way my community needs. And on the coast, they can serve those communities there the way they need. So that's a big plus. And we can be so responsive, and responsive literally overnight in some cases. And when I visit with industry partners and I tour those manufacturing plants, one of the last questions I ask them is, what's coming next? I need to know what's coming next. What are you about to put on this manufacturing floor so that we have time to prepare for that?
Right.
Because I don't have the capital to build out that much overnight.
Sure.
But if you give me time, we can usually make something happen. So we see that across the state.
Well, and let me applaud you for that as well. As a longtime employer, it's on that side of the fence.
Right.
It's so important that we have that open communication, that constant flow of feedback back and forth between the education community and, of course, the private sector.
You know, our students are our customer, but at the same time, our employers of these students are our customers. And so there's that delicate balance of making sure we stay current with what they need, especially in our career technical areas. But the same thing's true in our academic classrooms. Their workforce training is what they are.
Sure. Do you receive feedback from employers about graduates they've hired from ICC?
We do. All of our career technical programs are going to have advisory boards, and so those are people in the industry. So we get that feedback. We also have that in our advanced manufacturing technology program, where they're working in industrial maintenance tech, and those companies are given really constant feedback because they're working as apprenticeships. They're in an apprenticeship program. So that's great. But then we also get it in the academic arena, healthcare, especially in healthcare, because we're in constant conversation. And so we find out what is it they're needing more of, less of, what's that next challenge they see coming, and so we adjust both curriculum and experiences along the way.
And don't you feel, though, as well, Dr. Allen, that when they have positive experiences with their graduates, they come back to hire the next?
Absolutely. And it's kind of what I said today. You know, you're being that spark. You know, it's all about leadership in that sense. And you can still be an introvert, but you're creating that spark that things happen, and they begin to really. You get that synergy of 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, it equals 5, and so neat things happen. Well, that's what also I think happens when these employers find, hey, this is a great hire, let's go get some more of those.
Yeah, that's totally awesome. So what's the outlook? How are you looking?
Well, fall enrollment's looking great. Our orientation numbers have been through the roof, and historic numbers, which, you know, we still got a lot of time before August. But we're hoping that'll hold, and those numbers will be up. Residence Hall housing has been full for years. We just opened a new residence hall across the street there, Magnolia Hall, just a phenomenal hall for scholars and leaders. It's a separated co-ed, collaborative study spaces in there. So I go over and check on it, and they're using those collaborative study spaces 24/7. It's been wonderful. So we see as the future's bright. Our Tupelo campus is rolling, Belden Center's rolling. So many great things occurring. We always have room for more students, though, no matter the age.
I run into you occasionally down at the Capitol during the session. Is there anything in particular that you guys are looking for?
Well, you know, we always have the needs to, with a 75-year-old campus, we always have the need to maintain and upgrade facilities. And so there's always that need for bond dollars, whether they come through capital expense or actually bonding of dollars. Those things are what allows us to stay current, to maintain, be competitive. You know, think about it. A residence hall you built 30 years ago probably doesn't meet the standards of what people are looking for today.
True,
so you have to do some updates along the way. So there's that. Always the need for workforce enhancement. Donnie Bell, Senator Parker have been great about helping us find ways to enhance what we're doing with Accelerate, if it needs to flow through there, which usually it does, on workforce training. And so I think that's the other piece, and I chair that component for the presidents.
Okay.
So it's a constant conversation of what's next.
Okay.
And so we added one this year, Gerard, that is nurse navigators, and it was some dollars that Donnie Bell was able to help us get that will flow through Accelerate, and it allows us to hire a navigator or two within our nursing programs that will help guide students in the outside the classroom. So it's not teaching them, it's helping them internalize what they've been taught and then manage the life challenges that come in the way.
And we did get some funding, speaking of that, for the nurse programs as well, grant funding.
We did. And so those type things always help. We had our CTE Advantage. This is the third year we've received those funds, and that helps us shore up the difference. It cost us $3,000 more to educate a career tech student than an academic student. The labs, the instructors are so much more expensive. Well, we're disincentivized to add to those programs because it costs so much more.
Right.
But yet, that's exactly what our employers need.
And where the opportunities are.
So we've been able to receive $5 million the first year, $10 million the second, and another $10 million this year. And that we really don't get dollars like that on a regular basis. Yeah. But that's directly impacting our ability to grow and retain our career tech programs.
Yeah, makes total sense. Well, We got another session coming up next year. It's hard to believe it's a few months away. Appreciate you joining us, having us here today, Dr. Allen, and most importantly, congratulations on a successful year. I know the future's bright. Appreciate your leadership at this fine institution.
Thank you. We appreciate the attention to community colleges as always.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Ever since we opened our doors in 1964, Davis Ford in Fulton has been committed to providing the highest level of customer service and customer satisfaction. That level of commitment is shown in our 18 Ford President's Awards for overall customer experience. Whether you're looking for a tune-up, a trade-in, or a new F-150, the team at Davis Ford is here to serve you. Come see us today in Fulton. Call us at 662-862-3711 or visit us online at davisfordsales.com. Davis Ford, small-town dealership, small-town prices.
Athletic summer camps are back at Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, baseball, basketball, cheer, soccer, softball, tennis, and volleyball throughout the months of May, June, and July. Spots are limited, and you know they'll be filling up fast. Visit the homepage of letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College, the best camp here.
How does Little Caesars know when to bring back pretzel crust?
I'm sure they've got it down to a science. Do something.
Come on.
Oh! He's dancing! Pretzel Pete has busted a move. Pretzel crust is back!
Yeah, nah, they definitely know what they're doing.
The crust the world craves is back at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
When I think of ICC, I think about home.
The moment I stepped on campus, I knew it was a perfect fit.
It helped me find my true self.
It has opened doors for me that I didn't even know existed.
Everyone here wants you to succeed.
I was able to get involved here and make a real difference.
I've met my closest friends here.
There's something for everyone to be involved with.
I've gained skills to succeed in the workforce.
It's been the best experience.
Everyone, midday Super Talk Mississippi. We are at Itawamba Community College today in Fulton, Mississippi. Beautiful campus up here. Joining us now, Donnie Bell from the Mississippi House of Representatives, represents District 21, serves as the chair of the House Workforce Development Committee. Representative Bell, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for the invite.
You got it. So it's a big day here at Itawamba Community College. It's so cool to, when I walked in the building, seeing all the families of the graduates, and they're all excited. It's a big day for them. Beautiful facility, beautiful campus. It's pretty good up here.
It's home, and it's God's country is what we refer to it as.
We've got Dr. Jay Allen coming on later on in the program. He does a fantastic job up here, doesn't he?
He is. He's well liked in the community and has really moved this college forward.
Yeah, good guy. So you guys, of course, you've been out of session. You sine die. It's been almost 3 months now. Hard to believe. Two months of change.
I didn't realize that.
You feel like it was a successful and productive session?
Yeah, as far as the stuff that I was working on, absolutely, it was a good year.
Well, tell us about that. What specifically were you involved with this year?
Well, mainly on the workforce end, we instituted a lot of stuff. Last year we did the career coaches, which is a big hit across the state.
Yeah.
And this year we increased the funding and expanded that program. We put $12 million in this year, as opposed to last year. The startup was only $8 million. And in North Mississippi, roughly there's 70 career coaches.
Right.
That's really making an impact with the business and industry and the students at the K-12 level, along with the community colleges.
Right. And those have been very successful. I got to tell you, working with economic development back in my home county of Madison, no surprise to you, it's the number one issue we hear from the employers. We need a trained workforce ready to hit the streets running. We need them to fill these jobs that we have, and it's a big factor when they make their decisions, new economic projects. When they make that decision, it's one of the big things they look at. What we're seeing right now, it's workforce and energy and power availability. Yes. You seeing that, hearing that as well?
Yes. The workforce is, the driving factor, and I can quote you statistics where, Mississippi is 5th in the nation in the number of kids that go to college.
Yeah.
But within 6 years, we're 48th in the nation in the number of kids that actually obtain a degree. So we've in a way, we've really pushed the college route, and a lot of those kids are dropping out of college, and they feel like they're failures, and then we're having to retrain or teach them a skill set. So with the career coaches and some other things we're doing, we're trying to stop that before it happens, before they get that debt, before they drop out of college, at least to inform them of other opportunities and other skill sets that are high-paying jobs in Mississippi.
No doubt about it. And they're available right now. We need people right now. The community colleges play a critical role in addressing that issue. Much of the education that is received and some of the crossover training, vocational training, the career coaches and so forth, that's all integral to preparing a workforce that's ready to staff some of these jobs that are available. Lots of jobs that are available.
Well, I just finished my 16th year in the legislature, and the community colleges as a whole across the whole state has really evolved and changed and stepped up to the plate, in my opinion, and understands the workforce and training those people, those skill sets, that is making a difference. And it's taken time, but they are the driving force behind workforce development in the state, is at the community college level.
No doubt. And we're blessed with 16 fantastic institutions across our state, and it's affordable as well.
Yes.
And it's really a great value. Something that I always call attention to anytime we're on this topic is the Communiversity, East Mississippi Community College in Starkville. What an awesome model that is, that I feel Representative Bell should be replicated across the state.
Yes, and like in North Mississippi, Etowah Community College has the Belden Center.
Yes.
Which is just phenomenal on what the skill sets that they're producing in these young people. The issue that we're looking at now is more at the K-12 level.
Okay.
That's where we're going to focus at in the next few years, is how do we get K-12 involved more with the career tech education, because that's where it's got to start at the K-12 level, and we're looking at the curriculum, and how it aligns with the needs of employers by each area.
Yeah.
And Accelerate Mississippi has been very helpful, and I think they're on the right track. Dr. Ryan Miller, I think, is doing a tremendous job.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started. I mean, we're still in the infancy stage on a lot of things.
Yeah, I totally agree to get that started at the K through 12 level. Also, that Ryan does an excellent job at Accelerate. I think that's a valuable asset to the state of Mississippi for sure. Tell us what you expect in the upcoming session. You running for re-election?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured you were. I hadn't checked it, but I figured you were.
Well, I'm blessed. I'm unopposed.
Oh, so, man, you are lucky.
That's a relief. But, I'm looking forward to the session. Pretty much it's pretty much set. Jason White is going to be the next speaker.
Yeah.
And working with him and his leadership team. And I actually had dinner with him last night, and workforce is going to be at the top of his agenda also. So
sure.
We're trying to develop a plan and getting more information from InSpark and accelerate on where, as far as legislation, we need to go in the next few years. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. It's some of these controversial bills that flowed through the legislature this year, we see that maybe 1020 perhaps was the most controversial, certainly got the most attention in the press for sure. So now we got lawsuits that, no surprise there, that have ensued as a result of those bills. But do you think overall that was a good idea, what we passed there to expand the Capitol Complex district?
I do, because I mean Jackson needs help, and it's not just a money issue. It's some direction and some guidance, and I feel like it was the right thing to do, because Jackson is our capital city. It represents the whole state, and if you don't feel safe going to Jackson, what's it going to take to fix it? And it's not just something that you just need to throw money at, and then, because we've tried that. We spent a lot of money in Jackson, and it just hadn't been worked out successfully like we think it should. And I say now, let's give it a shot. Let's try to make it better.
And the new judicial district as well, which was established as part of the bill. A lot of pushback on that. I was there in the gallery the day that it got a little heated on the floor, as you recall. Representative Trey Lamar, of course, who authored the bill, was in the well, and I remember the mayor, and it just seems like his entourage filled up the North Gallery. But it got through, and I thought the members of the House handled that quite effectively and professionally. Yeah, we got to do something.
Well, I'm glad Chairman Lamar was at the podium and not me. That's all I can tell you.
Lots of fireworks for sure. During that debate, but I agree. I think it was the right thing to do. Something that didn't get done was the citizen-initiated ballot measure process. We're still without one in the state of Mississippi. Do you think that's going to come up again in the next session?
I think it will. And the House and Senate's just got to come to an agreement on a number of signatures
that's
to make it
comes
happen.
Down to, doesn't it?
And that's it at the end of the day. And once leadership agrees on a number, I think we'll move forward.
The question is, can we get to an agreeable number? We certainly haven't been able to the last two sessions. But that's coming up. Any thoughts about any of the races you want to talk about in particular coming up?
Now that I don't have a race, I'm just glad I can just speak for myself. But, there's a lot of good candidates out there running. It's a time for them to get their message out and their beliefs. And I wish everybody well.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to heat up here because we got primaries in August, of course, the general in November, and yesterday or earlier this week, 2 days ago, I guess, was the official deadline for filing financial reports. So we got a glimpse into who's raising money and who's not, and that will certainly be a critical part of a successful campaign going forward.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't see a tremendous amount of change in the House or the Senate, really, for that matter. I think the numbers are pretty much what they are. You might see a couple of new faces, but
I think you're right. I think you're right. Representative Bell, always good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for coming on, and be sure and tell Jason White that everything's fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renaissance Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat. and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents, not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also a maestro of the clarinet, a famous speed solver,
piece of cake,
a noted cheese connoisseur,
Limburger.
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Ever since we opened our doors in 1964, Davis Ford in Fulton has been committed to providing the highest level of customer service and customer satisfaction. That level of commitment is shown in our 18 Ford President's Awards for overall customer experience. Whether you're looking for a tune-up, a trade-in, or a new F-150, the team at Davis Ford is here to serve you. Come see us today in Fulton. Call us at 662-862-3711 or visit us online at davisfordsales.com. Davis Ford, small-town dealership, small-town prices.
Athletic summer camps are back at Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, baseball, basketball, cheer, soccer, softball, tennis, and volleyball throughout the months of May, June, and July. Spots are limited, and you know they'll be filling up fast. Visit the homepage of letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College, the best camp here.
Is the big graduation here, and we are pleased to welcome Senator Daniel Sparks. He represents Mississippi's District 5. That includes Itawamba, Prentiss, and Tishomingo counties. He serves as the Vice Chairman of the Senate Corrections Committee. Thanks for coming on and coming by to see us here, Senator Sparks.
Absolutely, Gerard. Good to be with you. Appreciate the invitation.
This is a beautiful campus, and it's a big day here on the ICC campus with graduates walking. I think we learned 673, I believe, walked today. 1,016 graduating. That's pretty cool.
It is. It's impressive. I ran to Dr. Allen just a moment there in the hallway, and it's just it's so impressive what our community college system can do. Of course, the 15 community colleges across the state, it's one of the best economical decisions you can make toward higher education, especially in your first 2 years. And, they're nimble. They can adapt. They're the tip of the spear when it comes to career and technical education, workforce. They're working with Ryan Miller over at Accelerate. It's just it's a really good process, and ICC does a wonderful job. Of course, you just had Mayor Quinn on. They have a great partner in the city of Fulton, and in the legislature, Donnie Bell, and I think Donnie maybe was with you earlier.
He was.
He's the chair of workforce in the House, and Donnie has been such a good friend to me, an encouragement. In a freshman term as a legislator, it was great to have people like Donnie, and he's, of course, an alumnus. He's a distinguished alumnus.
Yeah.
I believe he was. he won an award a couple of years ago, but he came up to Belmont and had breakfast with me yesterday morning. So we enjoy working together, and
Very cool.
The mayor and the team here in Fulton and at ICC.
Yeah, he was on earlier talking about all the stuff that happened in the Workforce Development Committee, which, of course, is very much related to where we are today. A big focus of that in the state of Mississippi, and the community colleges, I think, are well positioned for that, to prepare the students.
They truly are. I get to serve on workforce in the Senate side with Chairman David Parker, and it's just been really, difficult. When we came in 2020, I think Lieutenant Governor Hosemann shared the ideas of CTE and our workforce participation rate, which is toward the bottom of the country, needing to be raised, and that the community colleges were key to that. Also, our high schools. But when COVID came along, it kind of derailed some of that focus that we had, and that's something we just want to continue, of course, with Accelerate and the work that's been done, that we can grow that.
Yeah, Accelerate. Ryan Miller been on the program many times. I think that was a good creation by the state to have some focus there, and he's very energetic, understands the dynamics of what they're trying to get accomplished, and as well as I do, the employers' number one issue is can't find the qualified people we need to put to work to fill the ranks to produce our products and services.
And that's true in manufacturing, but it's also true in education. I spoke this morning to the retired teachers in Tishomingo County. Of course, my mother was one of the attendees, so I had to be on my best behavior. But there was a discussion of a teacher shortage that we have, which again the community college plays a huge role in beginning that process toward an education degree. But you're right. It's not just in manufacturing. We're seeing it in professional jobs, nursing. That's another area that community colleges have been extremely strong is in nursing. We had 4 bills this year in the Senate, particularly that dealt with hospitals and some of the things that we're doing. One of those was a grant program to expand nursing capacity, and so I was excited to support the Lieutenant Governor and the presenters on that bill, and I think that'll help our community colleges.
Some grants, right?
Yes,
the program specifically for that.
Specifically, and I think it was $18 million. Don't hold me to that, but I think that was the number, and more so, I think, out of the ARPA funds as well.
In the form of student loan forgiveness, was it not?
That's correct. In other words, it was an opportunity to draw people in, but also to build out capacity. We did a nursing grant program, but we also had some monies put aside to actually build out the capacity because you need more instructors, or maybe you need more classrooms. A lot of our schools are tapped as it relates to resources, but they have more people who want to go into that field of nursing. So I think that will be helpful.
Desperately needed. Let's talk about the Corrections Committee, which you serve as the vice chair. What did you get done this year that you want to share with us?
This year, I think Chairman Barnett had made this mention before, too. We were evaluating a lot this year. We passed several pieces of legislation the first 3 years. We're trying to see the impact of that, particularly some of these work programs with our counties. I had pushed for 3 years to try to get MDOC to pay a better rate to our county jails when they're housing MDOC inmates. Technically MDOC is supposed to come get them rapidly, and that wasn't happening, and we were kind of balancing our books on the backs of the counties. And just like Chris Dickinson's the sheriff here, they just built a new jail. That's a huge investment. They don't need to be doing MDOC's job for them. People need to be where the training is, where other things are that they can participate in. But we've my background. I'm an accounting major like you from Ole Miss, and economics and all that, and taxation. I look at these contracts, and I just want us to do a better job, not just at MDOC, but across the board. I think we need to look at the RFP and RFQ process. I think that we've got service contracts that fall outside of a request for proposal. We need to operate government more like a business, particularly when it comes to the bidding processes. And now, I don't mean something that ties the hands of industry or ties the hands of county government or the schools, but I'm talking about literally when we're looking at huge multi-million-dollar, multi-year contracts that we're 100% above board and we're negotiating well.
Yeah, totally agree. And in fact, there was a report this morning back in my neck of the woods that you spend some time in 3-4 months a year in Jackson, where there appears to be perhaps some misuse of funds. I know that may sound shocking, but it all comes down to being able to contract for certain services without competitive bidding, and it just serves as a catalyst for all sorts of impropriety and just abuse of money, public money, and it looks like that's coming to light in Jackson.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. It's public money. That money is the money that's been taken from the taxpayers, and then we're expected to provide services, core functions of government, things of that nature. And we can argue over what's a core function of government, or, should we cover this, should we not cover that?
Right.
But we should not ever disagree that transparency in the contracting process, that we've gotten the best. They always say, I don't want to be the cheapest. I want to be the best bargain.
Right, best value.
That's right, best value. That's right.
Yep, totally agree. And what essentially what happened in Jackson, it all has to do with contracts for cleaning services during COVID that just looked suspicious at a minimum. And so even the Jackson paper, Clarion Ledger, picked up on that. We've got election year on our hands.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I am blessed and thankful that I am running unopposed. I appreciate
you and Bell.
Yeah,
how'd you get that?
Well, I think Bell pulled me across the finish line.
I got you.
The people in Tishomingo, Etowah, and Prentice County have been very good to me, and I hope that they're proud of the work we've done. And I do feel like going back for a second term, there's a level of understanding of the process that I want to be more effective for the people that I represent. But I'm excited.
Well, you know as well as I do, arguably the most contentious race of the election season is going to be the primary for lieutenant governor. Maybe it's neck and neck with the general election for governor, but certainly the primary with sitting Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann, whom I believe you support and have shown that, and I think actually produced a video to that effect. Did you not recently?
I did. You know, there were a couple of things. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity to work with Lieutenant Governor Hosemann. I do endorse him. It doesn't mean I agree with him on every issue or I'll vote with him or things of that nature.
Sure.
I just believe he's the best leader for that job in the state of Mississippi. The the video came as a result of me pushing back on a little bit of the McDaniel campaign messaging that I thought was not accurate based on personal experience serving in the Senate.
Okay.
And their response, instead of replying, was to block me on social media. That's the first time I think that's ever happened.
I saw that. Yep.
So I said, well, okay, well, I'll just use my own social media and put some videos out. So I'm through video 2 of 10. We're going to discuss exciting things like election.
2 of 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Election integrity. We're going to talk about committee chairmanship. And he's thrown that one out, made a really nice ad. He just forgot to say that Lieutenant Governor Reeves had 13 Democratic chairmen. In his first term, he had 17, and Governor Bryant had 19. So I just want him to tell us what he's going to do for the state of Mississippi instead of telling the state of Mississippi what we're all doing wrong. And I guess I take it a little personal when someone implies that the Senate members who represent over 50,000 people apiece. I represent these 3 counties we talked about. They didn't send a guy down there who's shy and bashful. They didn't send a guy down there that does not represent their interest. They sent somebody down there that's going to speak up, speak often for them.
I understand.
And I did. And so I'll have to admit, I've also taken to the campaign trail. You know, I'm going to show up more than Flat Stanley where he's at. So I'm going to push back on that.
We only got a few seconds left, but I got to ask you the ballot initiative process. You were nice on the last visit to talk about that. What do you see? We going to get anything done, you think?
Yeah, I think we will. I think the statutory route is what everybody's talking about. The signature issue, I think we can get that worked out.
Okay.
You know, I do hate that it didn't happen last year because it's being part of the political process. Governor Hosemann pushed to get a second version back through, and we just didn't get it through the House that time, and so I think we will work together. We got some good people.
Sounds good. Appreciate you coming on as always, Senator Daniel Sparks. Good to see you, sir.
If this just cost a little bit less.
Let's take a look at that with the Renaissance replay. Make the right call with over 400,000 shopping discounts right from the Renaissance Rewards Extra checking app.
Might be a little while before I get to the bank.
That's an incomplete pass. Let's give it a Renaissance replay. Renaissance Mobile Check Deposit. Make the right call and open an account with Renaissance today.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Athletic summer camps are back at Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, baseball, basketball, cheer, soccer, softball, tennis, and volleyball throughout the months of May, June, and July. Spots are limited, and you know they'll be filling up fast. Visit the homepage of letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College, the best camp here.
Pleased to welcome the mayor of where we are here, Fulton, Mississippi, Emily Quinn. Mayor Quinn, thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I was excited.
It's a great day here at Itawamba Community College. Enjoyed visiting with a couple of students and, of course, Dr. Jay Allen and saw all the families and the students here in the Davis Event Center where we are. Big day for them to receive their
Huge
degrees.
day.
Yeah.
Great accomplishment.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's got to be a sense of pride for you as the mayor to have this fantastic institution in your midst.
I tell you what, ICC is a blessing to Fulton. For it to be located right here, we count the students as tourists. So and not residents. So I mean, when they leave for the summer, it's pretty much like a ghost town. But we love their enthusiasm. I've got a son that's a student at ICC, so it's just really fun to see these kids come here and really develop their personalities and their likes and dislikes, and to watch them go out and do good things in the world.
And it's a beautiful campus too, isn't it?
Beautiful. Yes.
It's awesome. What's going on here in Fulton? How are you doing these days?
Well, we're doing great. We just got a $2.3 million grant, which was the match funds for ARPA to repair and redo a lot of our infrastructure when it comes to utilities. So that would be water or wastewater, and it's desperately needed.
Yeah, and this is something that requires constant attention.
And I can't tell you the last time we've had a total revamp of all of our pipes.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are the terracotta or clay pipes.
Wow.
So they're collapsing, which is causing sinkholes and dirty water, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
So we've got to make it better for the residents.
Do you ever have city council, alderman?
We do. We have alderman.
Yeah. Okay. Do you ever have a meeting of you and the alderman where you don't discuss that? Don't discuss infrastructure.
No, it's constant. If it's not pipes, it's roads. It's something constantly. Yeah.
What's your elevator pitch? Why would someone want to live here in Fulton?
I think it's just very important for us to recruit and retain, especially the students that come to ICC. And I was actually locking up the office a couple of weeks ago, and I was working late, and there was a gentleman walking around the courthouse square with his daughter, and he came up and he said, "Do you mind if I ask you a question?" So we got to talking, and finally I said, "Well, who are you?" And he told me, and he said, "I grew up in North Mississippi, went to school at ICC, moved off, got a family, and then when we started looking for places to settle down, I swore I'd never come back to Fulton." He said, "But we love it here. It's just
awesome.
It's a safe city, to raise your kids, great school system, and of course, with the community college here, they don't have to go far, and you can still keep a good eye on them."
And you've healthcare. You've got great healthcare facilities, institutions as well. It's always figures into it. What about your financial status? How are you looking there? Is the city in good shape?
We are looking great. We did not get any relief money for taking a loss of revenue during COVID.
You did?
All of our numbers went up.
Really?
Which is really crazy. And they are continuing to climb and climb and climb. We're about to have a special election for pennies for parks, June 6th. That's going to be a really important election because that's going to be a 3% additional tax on restaurant prepared food. So it'd be even at the grocery store through their buffet line. And that could potentially give Fulton $700,000 a year. So you think about what that could do for our parks, for our recreation, for our tourism. We did have it last May, and we lost passing the vote by 2 votes.
2 votes?
2 votes. Wow. It hurt so bad. But,
so is the additional 3%, is it earmarked specifically, designated for the parks?
That's
for
right.
That purpose?
Yes, specifically for the parks, recreation. I would like to have a new welcome to Fulton sign, as you enter Fulton, just so people know, hey, we're a cool town and we are open for business.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot you can do for beautification. Really, we take out of our general fund probably $150,000 each year just for our parks, for our city ballparks.
Okay.
So you look at that money that we would generate from the special tax going to the park, that would really put some relief general fund that we could use for paving roads or
Sure.
a lot of maintenance issues.
Yeah. So are you looking to construct some new parks, new facilities, or just upgrade, maintain existing, combination?
Right now, I would like just to update and maintain what we have. But now our ballpark, I would love to do a total revamp of that. It's really old. It's not very well put together. It was like, let's add a field here. Oh, well, look, we've got the space over here, so let's add one here. Now they have the clover, the clover fields with the one concession stand and bathroom in the middle. So you don't have to run your kids here and there and everywhere. You can really be centrally located.
Okay.
And then that would give us an opportunity to host more ball tournaments too, which would bring a lot of revenue to the city.
Sure. Are there any economic development projects in the works that you could talk about?
We're getting a tractor supply company.
Okay.
And it is going to be a really big building, over 20,000 square feet. It's going to have a gardening center, and it will have dog washing stations, which I will utilize. And so we're just really excited for that. We're also getting a Waffle House. And I've heard possibly Zaxby's in 2 years. So
Waffle House, that's huge.
I know. So, yeah, all the college kids will love that.
Absolutely. What about residential developments, housing, and the like? Anything going on there?
That's one problem that we do have. We have more and more young families moving to Fulton, but we lack in housing units. So we have put out little feelers to construction workers or development or, developers that hopefully they'll want to build houses, and they have started building houses here and there because it's hard to recruit young families if you don't.
No place to live.
Right, but now if we get new parks, a half-mile radius outside of that park, your house value, it increases.
Yeah.
So, there's just so many benefits to passing pennies for parks, and when you go eat at Tupelo, you're paying an extra tax that goes to their children or their park. So it's just important for us to utilize it here.
When's the vote?
June 6th. If you're going to be on vacation, June 6th, you can come on and see me in City Hall, and we can get the absentee ballot filled out.
How do you feel about this round? You said you lost by 2 votes.
I feel very confident this time. I feel like before, people just really didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And possibly we didn't get the word out enough. So I'm really starting to kick off a campaign. FL Crane, they are sponsoring the campaign to get it passed. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, and let's move Fulton forward. I'm ready.
We spoke to Representative Donnie Bell earlier in the program, and coming up next is Senator Daniel Sparks.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want to tell those guys that you need from the legislature?
Let me tell you what, we are blessed with those two. They work so hard for us in Jackson, and they're fighters for us too. And we would not have half of the funds that we've acquired since my term being mayor. This is just my second year.
Okay.
But boy, they really put out for Fulton and Itawamba County.
Are you planning to run for re-election?
I am right now, but I still have 2 more years. A lot can happen in 2 years.
I understand. Anything in particular you'd like to see from our legislature that you could benefit from?
They're always looking for funds to help us. If I say we need South Adams Street repaved and it's going to cost $1.7 million, they're looking for the funds that or grants that we could use, to help that, to make it happen. Because, when people come into a city and you don't have good infrastructure, pretty roads, it really puts a hurting on you.
Yeah.
So,
conversely, if you do, it's attractive.
That's right. That's right. You don't want to plant a seed in a garden that's full of weeds.
I understand. Great. Well put. Mayor Emily Quinn of Fulton, Mississippi, has been our guest. Thanks for coming on, Mayor.
Thank you.
Appreciate
This was so much fun.
Congratulations on a great day at ICC.
Thank you.
Right,
yes, congratulations to all of our students, and come back to see us.
Absolutely. Mayor Emily Quinn from Fulton has been our guest.
Kirkherb Street is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Athletic summer camps are back at Itawamba Community College. ICC offers camps in band, baseball, basketball, cheer, soccer, softball, tennis, and volleyball throughout the months of May, June, and July. Spots are limited, and you know they'll be filling up fast. Visit the homepage of letsgoicc.com. That's letsgoicc.com to find a camp for your favorite athlete and register today. Itawamba Community College, the best camp here.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow is what we anticipate, what we work for, what we want to improve. At Itawamba Community College, we offer the courses, pathways, and the training that can help turn your vision of tomorrow into a reality. So why wait? Your tomorrow can start today at Itawamba Community College. The best start here.